to our NBA reporter, Tim Bontemps. Tim, what more can you tell us about your conversation with Joel Embiid?
Malika, as you just laid out, Joel Embiid is in maybe the best stretch of what's already a really impressive career, but he has his eyes set on bigger targets, namely winning multiple MVPs and multiple championships. The things that he has said over and over again are the things that determine all-time greatness in the NBA. I asked Embiid why those MVPs and titles are the things he's determined as being the benchmarks for greatness. Here's what he had to say.
To be the best, you got to have a bunch of championships and, have a bunch of different individual awards. So, that's why, my goal is to be the best. And I understand that to be the best, you have to have something to, show, something to show. And, that means championships, that means bunch, MVPs, that means, I don't know, whatever else awards is there. Defensive Player of the Year, anything.
As you hear there, obviously Joel is feeling like this is the kind of thing he needs to do, winning championships, winning MVPs, to put himself in that all-time great category. Got an MVP last year, but as you said, Malika, we'll see what these guys can do in the spring in the playoffs. They could get farther than the second round, something Joel has not done yet in his career.
Yeah, those are some pretty lofty goals that Joel just laid out. And speaking of MVP, the first installment of your annual straw poll, it came out today, where you take stock in where the MVP race sits right now. What did you learn from that?
Well, we learned that Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, Malika, once again are way out in front of the field in this MVP race. I thought potentially coming into this season, after those two guys finished first and second the last 3 years, Jokic winning the first 2 times, Embiid winning last year, that there might be a little voter fatigue. And maybe with the amount of incredible performances we've seen across from the league, guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, in particular LeBron James, who just led the Lakers to the in-season tournament championship, has been healthy. I thought he might get a lot of support, but instead we saw what we've seen over and over again. Jokic and Embiid at the top of the charts in the MVP race, and with Joel dominating the way he's been right now, not really a surprise that he's out in front. But as you've seen with the two of them over the past several years, it's probably going to come down to what happens in their matchups later on in the season to determine how this thing shakes out. But for anybody that thought there might be a new flavor of the month for the MVP race, doesn't look like that's the case right now.
Yeah, purely anecdotally, it felt like this is as wide open as the MVP race has been in years. But once again, we are seeing Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic up there at the top. Tim Bontemps, thank you very much. I do want to check in on what the odds makers have to say here, because Embiid has vaulted up the leaderboard, right? He's moved into that top spot for the first time this week off of the strength of his hot December here.
NBA,